everybody, and welcome back once again to the Happy Camper Radio Show, the only place to be when you're ready to talk camping. Camping is what we're about. Camping is all we talk about. It's episode 207, and we are back in the studio again today with a very, very special announcement. For those of you who have not been following us these past couple days on social media, oh yes, I've got something to share with you, and Daniel knows exactly what I'm talking about. He's sitting there. He's not smiling because he's not in the same position I am right now.
That's true.
Yeah, okay.
That's true.
But a lot of good information we're going to be passing on to you today. And Daniel's got a subject he's going to be talking about. Backyard games. Is that right, Daniel?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we're going to make the best of it and enjoy episode 207. It's coming your way right now.
Skip and Daniel.
And, of course, the Happy Camper Radio Show can be heard all around the world by great listeners just like yourself. You can find us in the iTunes Store and Podbean, Myro Guide, Stitcher, the BlackBerry Podcast Directory, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, and now on Spotify. A lot of places they can hear us, right, Daniel?
That's right. I think you make money off of Spotify, too, like 1 cent per listen or something.
Folks, this is what I deal with every day.
That's why
anytime Daniel talks, it's just always about money.
Well,
okay?
that's why all the podcasts. No, I'm serious. That's why all the podcasts want you to listen to Spotify because my wife's uncle he has a few songs on there, and he was telling us during Christmas. He said, "Yeah, I get 0.001 cents every time you listen." So
you're not going to sing any of those songs today, are you?
No, that's
okay.
him, not me. I don't sing.
Okay. But yeah, hey, we got a great episode lined up here for you today. And you're going to be hearing more and more of us in the studio. And don't forget, folks, you can catch us online anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.happycamperradio.com. Daniel, you know what we're going to do right now?
What's that?
Haven't done in quite a long time.
Uh-huh.
Well, we got some shout-outs.
Ah!
Yeah, let's go ahead and welcome some newcomers here to the show. And, hey, we got a lot of catching up to do.
Yes, we do.
So we have a few
We're
folks
on the
right
ball.
now. And, everybody's a happy camper. Everybody's a dedicated listener, and we definitely want to recognize them. First of all, to Amy Garrison Weller, to Grace Truecki of White Bear Lake, Minnesota, Ryan Verthine of Topeka, Kansas, Haley Skiff Jesperson of San Diego, California, and finally to Eric Dion. Daniel, every one of them like us on Facebook. Thank you all so very much for joining us. Glad to have you on board, and more importantly, thank you for being a part of this great Happy Camper Radio family. Folks, if you want to be on the show, Daniel and I would love to talk to you, wouldn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All you have to do is get in touch with me.
We'll shoot the breeze. That's what you do while you're camping. You get all set up, you get settled down, you get the fire, you get it nice and stoked, you get some, you get some s'mores, or you get some hot dogs, or popcorn. Actually, when I was a Boy Scout, we had a little basket, and we made popcorn over the fire, and that was really interesting. But anyway, you get around the fire, you tell some stories, like, my infamous story from Halloween. You tell some stories. You do some games. You just have fun and shoot the breeze. Oh, what about that? Don't you remember you had that fire background, that fire in the background, It's just like that.
The one that drove you nuts.
I like it. That's very
Daniel,
peaceful.
I have longed for a campfire.
Yeah?
And with this crazy COVID-19 nonsense that's still lingering on, that has so many campgrounds closed down right now.
Not in Georgia.
Okay? Not in Georgia. So, folks, anywhere across the country, anywhere across the world, you want to come to Georgia, chances are you're going to find some campgrounds open. But next week, we're going to get back on track with our weekly campground, the Campground of the Week here on Happy Camper Radio. And we're going to bring everybody's spirits up. Right now, a lot of folks are not camping. A lot of folks are just kind of hanging out and just wishing they were going back to work. Some people are going back to work, and I'm glad to see that. All right, but Daniel, I'm not going back to work.
Oh, you lazy bum.
Special announcement, folks. If you haven't been following us this week on social media, you've heard me talk about it constantly on the show. Daniel, what life would be like if I were retired.
Mm-hmm.
Well, folks, I have finally done it. I have given it up. I am officially retired. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And I got to admit, Daniel, life is good. Life has really been good here. It has really taken a toll on the show for the longest time, and mainly because of the hours that I worked. And you know, as
you
well
work
as
nights,
I do.
I work days. We literally saw each other leaving.
And it's crazy sometimes actually getting into the studio to do a show.
Yeah.
Because it's just robust, nuts. Daniel, your schedule was totally the opposite of mine, like we say.
Literally.
And you know, I really hate coming into the show with one of us being tired.
Yeah.
All right.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And of course, you know, you work the day side, so you're still wound up and energetic about this time of day.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hey, I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you feel retired? And if not, when do you think you will feel retired?
When do I think I will feel retired?
Or do you feel it right now?
Oh, I'm feeling it right now.
So it's sank in?
Oh, heavens, yes, Daniel.
Boy.
Yes, and I'll tell you how quick it sank in.
Yeah?
The minute I was able to put my head on the pillow and sleep 8 hours a night.
Nice.
I haven't done that in years.
And you were telling me the other day that you were going hiking at a trail down the road from us.
The Yellow River Trail.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's got to be great, being out there in nature and everything.
Yes, the Yellow River Park is really nice. It's less than a mile from the house here. And being able to go out there any time of the day. And of course, you know, I don't like the sun. I don't very well agree with the heat. Unlike my better half here in the house, Betty Crocker. All right.
The
Daniel,
housemate.
Yeah. There you go. She is from Florida, so she is accustomed to the heat. She's been dying to get me to go down there and spend some time, but I will probably spend time in the hotel with the air conditioner full blast. All right. Yeah, and that's why, you know, you hear me talk also that I'm a fall and wintertime camper.
Right.
And that's why, because I enjoy that. Dan, did you let the dogs out? I'm here. Yeah. No, they know you're here.
They know. They love me.
Yeah, I know they do.
All dogs love me. I'm a mailman. It's the soundtrack of my life. I saw this. I'm on a postal Facebook page, and they had this guy. It's like bark, 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 and they're like soundtrack of my life. And I was like, yep, pretty much.
There you go, Daniel. I opened up the door. She took one look at you, and she took off running.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've got the look. I gave him the postal look.
Yeah, that's the way it is. I mean,
signature move.
Yeah, Daniel and I live right next door to each other, and we have a privacy fence which separates our property. I mean, not that I don't mind looking over and seeing Daniel. The guy on the other side, I don't look in that direction. But, you know, I opened the door up, and all the dogs have to do, because the patio is on an upper part of the house, and they can look down into your property, and all they got to do is see the top of your head, and they're going crazy.
You're like Wilson from Home Improvement. You ever watch that show with Tim Allen back in the 90s? You poke your head over, and we start talking about when we could do the next show and when we're going to go camping again.
Yeah,
and everything.
Where does Ron Swanson fit into all of this? I'm wondering.
Well, that's your spirit animal.
Yeah, but anyway, Daniel, I am so looking forward to retirement. It is going to be so great.
You're in it. I'm so jealous.
Daniel, it's only been 2 weeks now.
Well, I look over there every morning when I get in my car, and I see your truck over there, and I think, 17 more years.
Well, you'll make it.
Yeah, I know I'll make it, but it's just like...
The good news here, Daniel, even though that I'm not being able to grab my gear and head out the door right now as much as I want to. Right. Okay? It'll be great camping with you again and the better half again.
Speaking of which, we were kayaking the other day at Snow Mountain Park, your favorite place to camp, and they're doing a bunch of improvements. So I think maybe we should do something once they get everything fixed up and everything. There was a bunch of people over there, but they're doing a lot of improvements over there, and I know that's your favorite place to go.
Super.
And I don't know if you wanted to tell people or not, but it's not camping. There are hardcore people. There are the backpack people. There are, the $200,000 people who drive around the country and live out of their camper. But I have a trailer up in the mountains, and I've invited Skip to come up to my trailer the 18th. And if he's willing, I don't know if he wants to or not, we could do a show. I could show him around. There's a bunch of trails up there. It's up in the Georgia mountains. And I'm pretty excited about that. So, it's not exactly camping. It's not a tent. I told you can't really bring a tent. We have a trailer. It's under a shelter. But, you're outdoors, and it's quiet, and it's peaceful, and it's just the best place to get away.
We might be able to do a YouTube podcast.
There you go.
Okay,
Bring one
because
of them cameras.
Well, yeah, we've got some great video gear all ready to fire up here and bring the show not only through the typical way you listen to the show, but some great videos too.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done a couple, and we're going to be doing some more. That video we did up there in Barrow County at Fort Yargo, that was great.
Mm-hmm,
we had a great time
fun.
up there. It rained. It always rains anywhere I go.
It'll rain up there, but it's different. It's a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot better because we're under a shelter. Then our camper is under that, so it's fine. Yeah. It's fine. It's awesome though.
But I'm not really rushing into anything. The fact that I did retire and was able to do so peacefully and graciously. I'm going to take my time and rest a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I indicated here on Facebook the other day, those walks over at the Yellow River Park are great.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
You get your exercise. I got my Fitbit watch on. I try to do my 10,000 steps a day. And you got to keep your health up.
It relaxes you too. It really relaxes you.
I have known too many people, and our listeners can probably attest to this fact too. There are people out there that when they retire, they sit in front of a TV. All right, and that's all they do. And next thing you know, they're not around anymore.
Exactly.
Okay, I don't want to be that.
Absolutely.
I still feel young. I still feel great.
Awesome.
And the fact that I am retired now, I'm the one who's going to be coming to you and saying, Daniel, you ready to do a show?
Yeah.
Okay, because I've got all the time in the world. And you can tell I'm not the sleepy one here in the studio today. Okay.
I'm okay. I just donated plasma, but whatever,
Oh, well.
I got to get that extra money from somewhere.
Okay. Well,
for
Daniel,
all the goodies.
Well, Daniel, on today's show, you want to talk about backyard games.
Well, we were talking earlier, and I was thinking, I'm a big outdoors person, of course, because I'm on the show. I like camping and everything. But there's a lot of activities I like to do outside. I like to kayak when I went kayaking with the wife. I like hiking. I like, I've got a couple of plant identification apps. I like to, research that and see, what plants you can eat, what plants you can't eat, all that kind of stuff. And, what kind of bird each bird I see is. Like, I do that on my route too. I look up stuff like that. But anyway, I'm a big outdoors person. So one of the things I like to do outdoors is play backyard games. So I was thinking not each and every week, but whenever, maybe every week, maybe not. But I figure every week I could mention one backyard game, tell you the gist of it, and, throw it out there. If people like that kind of stuff, they can get into it. It's really fun. It's a great way to, hang out and shoot the breeze and talk. And, that, like we were saying earlier, that's what camping's all about. So today, I'm not going to do anything crazy like I've got a million games that I have, but I figured I'd start out really easy with Cornhole. I'm sure a lot of y'all are familiar with Cornhole. It's the square thing with the hole in it. You always see it at tailgate parties. But basically, Cornhole is a board. I think it's about 48 inches long. I don't know. But it's Cornhole. You buy a thing, but there's two holes on each side, and you throw a beanbag into them, and you stand, I think, 20 feet apart, and you throw it in, and if it goes into the hole, it's 3 points. If it goes on top of the board, it's 2 points, and if it doesn't hit anything, it's 0 points, obviously. Now, I've never played it the way that I've heard it being played. I play it, 3 points, yada, yada, yada. There's teams of two, and, I think you have 4 bags, so each player tosses 2 bags. You don't have to have 2 players. But anyway, so let's set it up. Okay, so I'm throwing the bag. I throw the bag, it goes into the hole. I throw the bag, it's on top of the board. Okay? I throw the bag, it's nothing. 4 points, right? And then my opponent throws it. They throw it, it goes into the hole. They throw it again, it lands on top. They throw it again, nothing. Okay, exactly what I did. Some people cancel everything out. So if I get 3 points and they get 3 points, it cancels out. I've never played like that, but evidently that's a big way you play. Basically, you play to 21, and that's it. It's really fun. It's really, I don't know. I mean, it's like the most mainstream backyard game there is, and it's a lot of fun. But, I've branched out from that, but it's a lot of fun, and it's good for tailgating, and just when you want to get out there and just have some fun. So that's cornhole for the most part. I mean,
Daniel, two interesting points here. One, it doesn't sound like it's a very expensive game to buy.
I mean, there's a lot of places where you can. There's a lot of tutorials on Pinterest and stuff where you can make your own, and there are. It depends on how hardcore you are, because this game started. It's more of a Midwest game, and I know a lot of people from the Midwest are going to be shaking their heads when they hear this, because I'm a Southern guy and what do I know what I'm talking about? But they have championships. They get really serious about it, and it's a big deal. But anyway, it's not that expensive. You can go to Academy or Dick's or any local sporting goods store, and they have. Heck, now they have a whole backyard game section, and that's just the tip of the iceberg as far as backyard games are concerned. But yeah, I mean, if you want to try to get into backyard games, I would start there. It's really fun. It's it's challenging, and
the second
enjoy the
point.
outdoors.
The second point I was going to mention too is the fact that these are games that you can take to the campground.
Absolutely,
and that's what's so great about camping, folks. When we have downtime like a lot of us have right now, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners have engaged in backyard camping, during this COVID-19 situation. But now that things are starting to open up, yeah, that would be a great type of a game. And I'm sitting here intensely listening to you, and I'm thinking, wow, maybe if Daniel has that game out in the backyard, I might come on over and play a couple rounds with you.
You've seen us play a bunch of our games. I've seen you watching us play. We play all kinds of crazy stuff over there.
Yeah, Daniel, I also remember, I don't know what game you created over there the day you were digging a hole to put a barrel in your yard. Yeah, I've got video of that, but we're not going to share that with anybody.
That was my practice hole for foot golf. I went to play. There's only like one place in this area, I think, that has it, but it's on a golf course, a regular golf course, but it's kind of on the side, and basically you take a soccer ball and you start at a certain spot, like the tee or whatever, and you kick it like soccer, and there's a decent size hole, and you kick it into the hole, and it's a lot of fun. It's really cool. It's a really cool take on golf. I mean, there's so many games out there that are take on golf, and that was one of them, and it was really fun, and I really got into it, so I figured I'd make my own foot golf hole in the backyard, and Skip filmed it.
Yeah, and a lot of sensible campers don't bring a whole lot of stuff to camp like I do.
Right.
I overexert myself by making sure that I have everything all loaded up, and if I can't put it in the back of the truck, I load it into the pull-along trailer. Okay, but you're always going to have room to toss in a couple games, especially if you have youngsters, especially if you have kids that are more restless than you and I put together. Okay, they got Daniel. If we had the energy these kids have today,
I've got it. I've got it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you probably have more than I do. Of course,
right.
I'm not going to try to catch up with you. I'm retired now. I can take it easy. All right.
You're on a fixed income.
Yeah, but
I'm waiting for you to say that.
But anyway, the kids are always going to be looking for something to do at camp. Okay, so if you have some games, and I could sit here, as a grown adult. My kids are grown, of course, but if I had to sit here and think what type of games, if I had young kids, if I had grandchildren that I was taking to camp, I'd be lost. I would be totally lost, but you're obviously more into that than I am.
Oh, yeah.
And, the great thing is, you've got a whole stockpile of information here that, you're going to be sharing with us over the course of several weeks. And, and I think that's really great.
Yep.
But,
and if you're interested in, just Google it, there's a million YouTube channels, there's world championships, and anything I say, if you're interested in it, I would YouTube it. I'm not the greatest at describing the way things are played. Usually when I get a game that looks interesting, I YouTube it, I look at it, I figure out how to play it, and I go from there. So that's what I would suggest. If you've never heard of Cornhole or you're interested in Cornhole, look it up online, see if you like it, go to a sporting goods store, most of them have it, and buy it and see if you like it and see, and then go from there. And then I guarantee you're going to get hooked. I'm hooked. I'm addicted to backyard games.
Okay. Well, I'm addicted to video equipment too. So
Yes, you are.
If I happen to see you back there with it,
There you
we're
go.
going to share it with every one of our listeners.
We could make a video. That's
yeah.
what we could do. We could make a backyard game tutorials.
I'm sure that'll work out.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Daniel, I'll tell you, it is so great to be back in the studio again. And I have plenty of time now to concentrate on more shows. I really felt bad that, that we had to break off for a little bit because, I had to really put life into perspective here. Getting up there in your ages, lacking the sleep that I was, overnight shift, all that, and not eating well. Unlike you get up and you move around. I had a sit-down job that I could not get up and leave, and that's not good on your health.
Yeah,
it's never that good for you to be sitting in a position 8 hours a day for so long for so many years. But I don't have to worry about that no more.
Nope.
But yeah, retirement life is feeling great. I'm going to be out there on the trail as often as I possibly
Look
can.
at you. You're a hiker.
Yeah, well,
Good old
I'm
Skip.
getting there. Hey, Daniel, the nice thing about the Yellow River Trail, they've got a big paved loop that you walk around. You've been over there.
Yeah.
And you and your wife have actually stepped off the trail to go back in further into the woods. And I put a nice picture of the extension of that trail. And, and you just... You think you're walking into God's country. It's just so beautiful over there. And as long as it's not raining, as long as I'm not going to go over there with a raincoat, I'll go in there and just take my good old time. And that's what I see a lot of people doing. And I met a lot of great people over there too.
That's good.
So, and it's just like going to a campsite. You get up there, you get set up, and you're going to run into friends. You're going to make friends. Some you'll never see again. But the fact is, you made a friend for life when you go camping.
That's true.
Yeah. And we're going to be doing a lot of it. Well, Daniel, I thank you so very much for joining us here in the studio today. We talked today. Hey, we got to get this show in.
We do. We got it.
And I think we did a pretty good job.
I think so.
But we're gonna get at it again. We're gonna be back in the studio probably next week.
Yep.
And
hopefully we can get some footage or whatever from my trailer. Actually, I do have a cornhole set up at the trailer, so if Skip wants to bring one camera.
Oh, you're limiting me.
I'll make a tutorial or whatever about cornhole.
Yeah.
So.
And I've got my eye on a brand new GoPro camera too.
Oh boy.
So yeah, I'm working on that. So I don't think I'll have it by the time we get up there, but you never know. We'll see. But Daniel, I thank you again for being here with us in the Happy Camper Radio studio, and we're going to be doing it again, like I say, next week. And for you folks, I want to thank you also very much for being here with us, and we're going to be talking to you real soon. Yeah, let's get that jingle rolling here. The outro of the program, and. Hey, Daniel, maybe we're going to bring your wife in here next time.
There we go.
Yeah, because I know she's been dying to get in the studio, too. We'll put her in the booth of justice.
Booth of justice.
Remember, friends, every pet deserves a loving home. I want you to do exactly like I did. Visit your local shelter and adopt a pet today. You can find us online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker. Add us to Circles on Google+, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. The guy sitting next to me in the studio, he's a happy camper too. And you better believe it, folks. Hang around with us long enough, we'll make a happy camper out of you. Talk to you next week. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.